Hello and welcome to this very special edition of the AMA Office Hours, Lilypad AMA Office Hours. I'm developer Steve, also known as Stephen Kuchin, well, depending where you are, but I'm in most places. And I'm joined here today by my amazing colleagues, Tao Sheng and Richard. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here.
What a busy day it's been so far, and I'm sure everyone playing along at home has been watching or just watched the last live stream with the amazing Ali and team, and it looks like they had a whole lot of fun. But of course, we've been really busy today with the launch of the new network, which we're really keen to talk about. As we go through this AMA, there's no real structure. I might have a presentation deck ready, but there's no real structure to today. So if you do have any questions, comments, or emojis, we also accept emojis, please drop them into the chats on whatever platforms that you're currently viewing us from. It could be YouTube, on Twitter, or X as it's now known. Twitter X, maybe? Yeah, we should just put it together and create Twitter X. Or on, there's one more. Oh, LinkedIn, if you're joining us on LinkedIn as well. So anyway, drop into the chat. We'd love to hear from you. If you're running a node, if you're looking to run a node, if you want to run a node, we'd love to chat. We've got some stuff to talk through today because I'm joined today by, well, Rich and Tao Sheng have been extensively testing our new network a lot. I've been tracking it for a few weeks now. Been a lot of activity. And yeah, please drop those questions in. Also, we'll be talking through the new CLI and how to install it. So the Lilypad CLI to be able to run jobs. And we can touch on modules if anyone out there is building modules, which we talked about in the last AMA. But yeah, it's probably enough for me. Tao Sheng, Rich, did you want to jump in with anything, chat about anything at the start?
Well, I've been running my own resource provider node for a while now. It's really fun and easy to set up. So everyone should get on board, get the rewards, and then when we go to mainnet, you can redeem that.
The Lilybits, the Lilybit underscores.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually funny you should mention that because we do have a blog, which I'll drop into the chat as well for everyone to, if you haven't yet seen it, this blog kind of steps through that we published about, I want to say last night, but not everyone's in the same time zone as me. I need to remember that. But the last 12 hours or so, we've published a blog. There's a number of them coming, talking through how the Lilybit underscore tokens work. I should just call them Lilybits. Oh, there's one there. Let me put that on screen. There we go. And then, yeah, that is on our blog. So blog.lilypadnetwork.org or blog.lilypad.tech, and you'll be able to see all the blog posts as they come out. We also have, well, we have a lot of resources to go through. Anyway, talking a lot. Tao Sheng, you've also been running, playing around with node things lately too, haven't you?
Okay. Yes, for the past few weeks, the team are working hard to testing and implementing the testnet nodes and the POW work. And yes, we just learned a lot from the Ali's live stream 1 hour ago. So I think before we get into the details, I want to ask Stephen and Rich to introduce the overview of the Lilypad. I'm very interested into the Lilypad. I mean, the architecture and the innovation of the modular system and the marketing of the resource providers and computation providers. I think the structure and the architecture of Lilypad is very interesting to the market. So I want to Rich and Stephen give some introduction before we get into the details. Thanks.
No, as chance should have it, I did. Well, I actually do. While this is an informal session, I actually did prepare some slides earlier, and I just so happened to have some of that in the slides. So let me switch my screens back. Also, that's our new mascot. I don't know if I'm pointing the right way, but this is our new mascot, which is well, it's a really cool Robo Frog. Well, it's probably Lilybit Frog. No, we should workshop the name. We'll workshop the name as we go through. But yeah, tell us what you think of the new graphics. Anyway, let me Already covered that one. So Lilypad is a decentral. Oh wait, Rich, did you want to start talking first?
No, you go for it. I don't have
Lilypad
slides. You have
is.
slides.
Oh, I do have.
Yeah.
The again, I didn't prepare this. I actually have a lot of stuff, and for the last AMA, I have a lot of stuff prepared just in case things come up. Oh,
Yeah.
RoboFrog does need a name. Or maybe RoboFrog's going to stick now. Oh, it's such a project. Anyway,
That's a good name.
for me, it is a good name.
Yeah.
I'm going to say +1 for RoboFrog. I would put that in the
Fantastic.
chat, but it's going to post. It might. Anyway, tell us what you think if you have any ideas for our. Actually, it's a project name, RoboFrog, I think. Anyway, keep distracting myself. Anyway, so Lilypad is a decentralized, or also known as a DePIN, or decentralized physical infrastructure network, where we basically help connect GPU providers to using a blockchain or using on-chain to people wanting to run heavy compute containerized workloads. So which we call modules. Actually, I have a slide coming up with that, or did I not put it into this deck? No, this deck. Very good. There's some great, actually, in our documentation, which I do have prepared earlier. Architecture. Ta-da! There we go. That's it there. So basically, we do off-chain compute using, or containerized off-chain compute using on-chain guarantees to ensure that the modules or containerized workloads have been run against GPUs with deterministic output. And what we mean by deterministic output is it basically has to be reproducible. So a reproducible output so that our mediator nodes are able to validate that the job ran correctly and then give it a big thumbs up in, well, it's technical than that with the smart contract, but it basically guarantees that the job ran as anticipated because it's able to reproduce the output to be able to validate that, well, it was the results that you were potentially expecting. I think that's kind of at a high level anyway, but we have all this available in our documentation. So docs.lilypad.tech if anyone wanted to mascot. Ali's on Twitter, I believe, Twitter X. We just renamed that too. Ali's on Twitter X at the moment. Our CEO, developer Ali, raising the point about mascot naming comp incoming. So stay tuned for that one. Nothing like ad hoc campaigning on live stream. And again, as we go through, please drop those comments in. Tell us what you're working on, what you want to work on, what you're interested in particular. Maybe there's a particular workload you're looking to do, or there's a particular type of GPU that you are looking to run. Incidentally, while I'm in the documentation, actually, we added this page recently around hardware requirements you need to run your GPUs to be able to connect into the network. This is like all good project. A lot of ours project is open source. So if you find something along the way and you want to add to our documentation, or you want to join us in Discord to chat through any other questions you have beyond this live stream and the recording of the live stream, please do so at lilypad.team/discord. Oh, I set that up. I was having trouble remembering there for a sec. Anyway, back to the overview. Rich and Taosheng, if you have anything more you want to add to that, please feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'm just going to.
I think I would be. Well, this might be covered in your later slides, but I maybe give a less technical explanation, which is Lilypad is like a three-sided marketplace, where one side is GPU providers, so people who have spare GPU capacity that they want to leverage to earn and earn from the unused capacity. And then there are the job module providers. So the other side of the marketplace is people can build interesting job modules that might do AI work or some kind of interesting piece of work for academia. And then there's the people who want to execute those jobs and get the results. So that's a really powerful platform.
Yes, I agree with Rich, and that is a very good summary about the Lilypad. Why I ask these questions because we are launching the testnet. Lots of resource providers are going to join, and before they join, they will look at lots of similar projects like computation networks like other projects. I mean, when you look at when the resource providers look at the Lilypad, I think I wanted to repeatedly to share this easy information to them that what Lilypad is and what is the key definite nature of the Lilypad and the advantage of the Lilypad. I mean, Lilypad is a innovation network with marketplace, and in this marketplace we can run the job in a modular way. It is a job-based system with verification built into the protocol, and we also can help not only the resource provider but also the programmers, the data scientists, and the machine learning experts who can run your models directly on a network without like a cloud, without without care about the details of the technical. It's kind of a distributed cloud for your job running, for your modeling execution. So I think that is very cool from the resource provider to the coders to the programmers and to the data scientists and the machine learning practitioners. So I think this is very important. I will repeatedly to share the architecture, the architecture and the models behind the Lilypad to the resource providers. I think that is deserved to go in a long run point of view. Especially we have a stable infrastructure, and the next step we have lots of jobs that will get lots of value for this network and from this network.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits, just to go over that again, is accessing GPUs is very expensive. A lot of people can't afford to buy their own. It's very expensive to rent them on AWS and things like that. And Lilypad is a really affordable way for people to be able to leverage GPUs to run their jobs when they otherwise might not be able to afford to do that.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, actually, Rich, you touched on a really interestingly good point. I think those words go together. They do now. Good point there too is renting them from a cloud provider is sometimes even a little tricky because you need to ask permission if you want more than say 4, which is a true story. If everyone knows who I'm talking about. You need to submit a form, there's a ticket goes in, and maybe you get a response back in 12 to 24 hours, which, they get a lot of requests. So, but you need to ask permission to be able to get the infrastructure, access to the infrastructure you need to add to whatever infrastructure you've deployed. Whereas with Lilypad, you can set up your account, set up your CLI, set up infrastructure to be able to access that GPU as you need it, using the job that you need to be able to run it on without needing to set up copious amounts of stuff. So yeah, that makes it
and it's on demand, so you're only paying for the job that you're running. It's not like you're renting a GPU and then paying for it all the time and only using it for a few hours a day.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing too, and this is testament to the power of the on-chain the on-chain components in the middle of all that. Is it's all in the open, so you can see what nodes are online, who's running what, how long they've been online, like everything's sort of in the open, so you can see what's where when. There's nothing hidden away.
Yeah.
Excellent. So if you've just joined us, we're talking through the recent release of the IncentiveNet, of the Lilypad IncentiveNet, which we've got on screen. We've got on some pretty intensive write-ups on our comprehensive is probably more the word, comprehensive write-ups on our blog, explaining how it all works, how you can get involved, how you can start your own node. If you're looking to do that, please let us know, either joining the Discord or drop it into the chat, and we can talk it through live as well. Although we may also at some point during this stream, if we get a chance, look at some of the debugging techniques and ways that you can sort of investigate your node and how it's working, how it's running, how things you can tweak, all that sort of stuff as well. But if you do have any other questions, we're always here to ask them as we go through. Yeah. So now that we are live, one thing I would recommend doing, particularly speaking of CLIs, is here's all the documentation. Again, docs.lilypad.tech if you haven't yet used this, if you're looking to get started, or if you've used it before. Come to think of it, this is now a blanket coverage, like at all times, like please make sure you're using the latest version of the binary. At the moment, the team has been working quite furiously around the clock. I know because I've been doing it with them, along with Rich, and well, actually the entire team been working quite vigorously behind the scenes to get everything up, running, and ready. So there is a number of different binary releases. Please make sure you check to make sure you're using the latest one, just to make sure you've got all the bits and bobs you need to be able to do some queries. If you're joining us on YouTube, links just dropped into the chat, so please check that out. And again, if you have any questions, happy to answer them through. Excellent.
Hello.
Yeah,
I can ask questions on behalf of resource providers. Just like we discussed about the marketplace of Lilypad, we have multiple roles in the network. I mean, the different kinds of nodes in the network. So here, as you can see, for the resource providers and for the testnet, the resource providers just need to run the nodes as a resource provider. Could you introduce a little bit about the roles, different roles of the network, and why resource provider need to run currently only the resource provider nodes, and give us some little bit introduction about that, Steve and Rich.
So
yeah, you go.
Okay, you go. Whatever. I don't fully catch the question. The question was, why do resource providers only have to run the resource provider node? Was that the question?
Yes, because we have multiple roles in the network, but
yes.
currently only release the resource providers as the testnet participants.
Sure. So Lilypad is an open source project, and you can go to GitHub and look at the repo. And in theory, not just in theory, but in practice, you can run the entire network yourself on your own server if you feel like it. But to join the main testnet that we, or IncentiveNet that we're talking about today, we're hosting and running the entire Lilypad network. And all you have to do is follow these instructions that Steve has on screen right now. And it only really takes a few minutes to go through these steps, probably less than 10 minutes. You could go through this and be running your own resource provider and start receiving rewards. Does that answer your question, Toshio?
Yes. But we have multiple roles in the network, but some of the roles, for example, the server and the mediator is managed by the Lilypad team. And just as we discussed, the Lilypad network is it's not only a GPU network, but it's also a job network.
Yeah. So we have services that so when you run the job, as we said before, three-sided marketplace. So somebody wants to run a job and complete some piece of work. And when that happens, that gets submitted into our services. And then there is some job matching that happens. And it can look at what kind of resources are needed for this particular job. And so let's just pin that thought for a second. What is a job? A job module is basically a Docker container with a program in it. And when that job runs, the resource provider will download that Docker container and execute the container with the particular data that's being requested for that job run. And then it will return those results, and we'll make those results available to you on IPFS. So that's a little bit about how the network works.
Two things I wanted to jump into there as well is this is an open source project, so we're always looking for contributors, even just the documentation. If you're wanting to get involved, join the Discord, reach out, we'd love to chat, or you can grab the, like Rich said, you can grab the code yourself. You can run things locally. There's instructions for that as well. And again, please add to it if you feel there's something you need. If you are looking to build your own module, check out the last AMA. We talked about it a bit there, but there's also on our blog, we talk through how to do that as well and give examples and talk through like how to handle the environmental variables, input variables from job module runs with the containerized workloads. So, and if all open source, so if you are doing it and you find you've got some problems or some suggestions, we're always open for pull requests. Actually, we love your pull requests, and I believe that's going to be incentivized soon as well. So stay tuned for that one. That's not for this release, this current phase, but again, check out our blog because we've got all details on that as well. We do have a couple of questions coming into the chat, so let's take a quick look through those ones. I'm going to switch back to that one. Excellent. Phil's just posted, Phil from our DevRel team, our developer relations team, has also just posted the link to the AMA on our YouTube. So Lilypad YouTube, and you can check out the one from last week, which we actually had one of the people from one of our recent events join in and who had built a module, and yeah, we did a bit of a module geek out, which is kind of fun. Anyway, do have a couple of questions in the chat. Please keep those questions coming in. Somebody's said after they got the latest version of Lilypad installed, the latest binary release, there's an error appearing. Please make sure you check. The team is currently tweaking some stuff. The network is so new, it has that new car smell, but for an application. I guess that's the thing. It is now. Maybe we'll do an air freshener at some point in time as swag. Oh, actually, I hope marketing was listening. I'm pretty sure they are, but we could do that as swag. That's not for now. Oh, yeah, you go.
There is a help channel in our Discord, and that might be a good place to get help for that.
Yes, actually, I'll just put that on screen. Team Discord. Here. Hey, there we go. Yes, yeah, please join our Discord if you have any help, or if you just want to be part of the community. We've been growing pretty quickly in our Discord channel. The community's been growing, which is amazing to see. And well, the amount of work I know the team's been putting into getting everything up and running, it's just nice to see that community also coming together, which is amazing. The other thing is, yeah, things are still, that's also available in some of our, the platforms that we're streaming to. That's now available as a comment as well. So check out that link. We do have new releases coming out quite frequently at the moment, just because we're fixing a couple of things with the network at the moment. So please stay tuned and keep installing and testing those latest versions. Again, join the Discord or open an issue on our GitHub if you are experiencing problems and need help and didn't want to join our Discord. We hope you do. Another question we had come up is it possible to use a VPS to be a resource provider? RunPod and Vast both restrict access to Docker daemon, making it not possible to install the software. Well, that is possible, and I have done it from a cloud provider. I'm not going to mention names. I think ideally you'd probably want to have the actual hardware available, but yeah, what's
it should be possible. Well, I mean, the short answer is yes, it's possible. But if your cloud provider is restricting access to Docker daemon, then it might not be possible because the backcloud cluster uses Docker to run the jobs. So if that doesn't work, then that probably won't work. But with some cloud providers, it will definitely be possible.
Actually, if somebody is able to do it on a particular cloud provider, VPS resource, let us know. actually, we kind of love to see a blog post on it if somebody's, and how they found the process, how they found the setup, and what they had to do to convince it to run. That was probably a good way to put it, because well, as we all know, some of these cloud providers have platform characteristics that sometimes make it a little tricky to run the things we want to run, which is why decentralization is so important. But yeah, if you have been able to get it on, insert cloud provider name here, love to see a write-up, but join the Discord, let us know, or drop it into the GitHub and let us know. Because yeah, we're actually curious, because there's a lot of them out there, and well, there's probably a lot of ways to be able to get this to run. So yeah.
This is testnet. Please try to run and feedback to us.
Yeah, always after that feedback, good, bad, or otherwise. I mean, hopefully it's good. We really hope for good. But and otherwise, if you want to contribute, please do.
Yeah. Please try different kinds of hardware, and try to run and give us feedback.
Yeah, if it's something that we're interested in, we might be able to investigate and help resolve that. Yeah, and we should mention with the rewards, we were talking about rewards earlier, but I don't think we said the rewards are structured so that the earlier you become a resource provider, the more rewards you're going to get. So we're incentivizing you to join the network sooner.
Yeah, I was just looking for that part in the. There we go. Yeah, so that is a good point. The Lilypad tokens are rolled out over a number of different phases, and this is phase 0, which is peeling the covers off and revealing the brand new network, getting everything up and running, which is the phase we're at now. We are looking for those contributions for people to get involved, or of course, as I think we mentioned it. Well, I know we mentioned it in a few of our blogs. And the early frog gets the flies, so to speak, which is an amazing analogy. Or the early frogs get the lily bits. Yeah, the lily bits. But yeah, there's a full breakdown on how it works, and the number of incentive, or the types of incentives being given out as part of each phase as people get more involved, and the things you need to do to get involved. Alongside, of course, how to get started running Node, and then all sorts of resources in there too, which is it's a really good read. And I know the math and algorithms sitting behind this is there's a lot of thought from a lot of people that have got into this, getting this up and running. And I know I'm part of the team too, but shout out to the team. There's been a lot of late nights to get this going. So, but again, like, this is here for feedback. So we want your feedback. Tell us what you think. Tell us ways that we can help, well, make it even better, or how you want to contribute your different GPUs or different hardware that you want to add. Like, we want that feedback. Oh, I'll add that to link to up on. I'll bring that link up on the screen as well. Slash incentive. Yeah, there we go. And that's everything you need to find out there. We actually have, there we go, a full breakdown. That link that I just put up, that's on the screen now, will take you through to the page that talks through how it all works, how to get started, and all sorts of different resources that you need to be able to get involved. And there's multiple ways that you can get involved, not even just on the GPU side. You can, and we were talking about this at the start, but build out a module. What type of modules do you want to see, or what type of modules will containerize workloads do you think would be really handy to get up and running? Or what's something you're looking for? One thing I've seen, one of the most creative things I've seen someone use at a hackathon around a little while ago is they integrated the Lilypad CLI into a DevOps workflow to be able to build some heavy compute workloads as part of their DevOps pipeline, which that was pretty cool. So if you've got an interesting use case, we would love to hear about it. as well. Right, just checking for any new questions, comments, or emojis that people are dropping. Again, keep those coming in. Aware these AMA sessions are designed to engage feedback and be able to connect to find out if anyone has any questions or anything they're looking to build out. Maybe a module that you've built, and we'd love to have you come on and sort of talk through how you did it, why you did it, and, well, how it works. Always up for those as well. Yeah, so one thing we do have on here is it's a growing FAQ section on the IncentiveNet link that I've got up on screen on the page. So if there's a question there not covered, join our Discord and let us know. Excellent. And take that off screen. Cool. What else did we want to chat about in this session? At the moment too. See, this changes so frequently. I just saw something I hadn't seen on this page yet. As the network grows out, obviously we expect a lot of this FAQ material to be able to, well, it will get added to as questions emerge, and well, as the network continues to grow based on all that amazing community feedback. There. So. What else have we got? Do we want to talk through, actually, one thing we did add recently, or we did expand on recently, where's my docs? There we go. Where am I in the docs? I am in the docs. Menu had hidden itself. Was in running a node, we actually added, expanded on the section about, there. I'm going to make that a little smaller, because there we go. It needed to resize. One thing we added recently was also checking the node status and logging. Now, I know there was a lot of questions in our Discord around this one. So we expanded the section more inside our documentation, again, based on feedback and just everyone's questions, which are great. But what we did was add more of a section on how to, using Ubuntu or Nix-based sort of functionality, add in a section on how to determine some like debugging, like how to see what your node's doing, how to see what if there's any errors occurring. Maybe there's a different NVIDIA driver version or something that may be upsetting it or whatever. This is a way to use the system-controlled message outputs to be able to see what's happening. Is this I know Rich and Tao Sheng, you've both been running your own hardware nodes, but is this something you find quite handy when you're running them?
Yeah, I find that pretty useful. You can use the system control commands to find out the status of the resource provider service and the backlight service, and you need to make sure they're both running. And then using the journal control command to help identify errors is very useful.
One thing
and
I
also
always
make
find.
sure. Sorry.
You go. No, you go.
Yeah, and it's also worth checking that the service is enabled so that it's still running after you reboot your server.
You know what I found recently by accident was I never occurred to be run before, but if you go systemctl status, normally I use service and then service name, particularly on some of our core infrastructure, we've got a mediator node running and a couple of other things running. But if you do service, part of the service name, if you've got a few different services running, you can do asterisks and then do status, and it shows you all of them all in one go. Never knew you could do that until recently.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of network latency. So when you first start them up, they might not appear as running services for a minute or so. So be patient with that.
Actually, that's a good point, because I am the worst at being impatient for waiting things to run. It's like, I want it now. Why is it not starting yet? But it's a pretty complex, complex thing to get up and running. So there's a few components you need to wait for sequence of things and whatnot. So I think that's a good point, is to make sure you're patient and give it a second to get up to speed.
Yeah, I can share some findings about running the resource providers. For the resource providers in some countries, maybe you need to set up the VPN for the server in advance to make sure you can accept some service to install some packages on your server. So that is one point. The second is you need to make sure you have a good connection with the other components of Lilypad. Especially for the command line, you need to make sure you connect to the testnet or devnet. Make sure you have a right configuration about your GPU. If you provide your GPU or not. And the third, maybe a little bit deep related with the technologies, you need maybe you need to monitor your utilization of your GPU, how is running about your GPU, and how is did you receive jobs, POW job and other normal jobs on your server. These things you need to take care for the resource providers.
Yeah, you make some good points there. And you also want to have a decent amount of bandwidth for your internet connection, because some of the jobs could potentially be relatively large Docker containers that get downloaded to run. And if that's a few hundred megabytes, then you want to make sure your resource provider is going to do that fast enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve,
I think that one.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
That one particularly, yeah, as someone that's been building 16 gig containerized modules,
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one is very important. Now, I actually on that front, we have some stuff to announce soon around some ways to make that faster with some really nice partners. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that one on this one, but stay tuned for that, because it's something we've been working on behind the scenes. There's been so much we've been working on. But yeah, that one in particular is, yeah, where we've got some fun solutions for that one coming up. Anyway.
Have we mentioned the leaderboard yet?
We have
Can I bring that up?
Yeah, let me bring up, it's going to ask for the link, but I set that up. So I think it's this one. Yep, there we go. Let me just grab the link. That's not the one. There we go. Hey, there we go. I'm going to drop that into the chat as well. I'll bring that up on the screen, but this is the new, let me make that a bit bigger, because there we go. That's better. It should resize. Hurrah. I'll drop that as a banner chat as well. Banner. There we go. That one there. So this is our new leaderboard that shows you which node providers are online, which wallets are connected to those nodes are online, and then how much hash rate they've done, which is from the proof of work. Again, that is open source. That is in our GitHub, so please go check that out. And then also some details about them as well. There's actually a few things. Whoops, that was of course our amazing website. You can check that out. And actually, you can get to all the links for a lot of these different newly launched IncentiveNet things via there as well. So there's a wealth of information in that one. So check that one out. But one thing I like here, well, what do you think about the names? We've been working on these ones a little while. So if you have any suggestions for any new names, please check those out as well. We also have another link, which is the GPUs.
I feel like there should be one called RoboFrog.
Oh, yes. I think RoboFrog seems to be the one that's sticking the most here. Perhaps. Anyway, if anyone has any thoughts about what to name our RoboFrog, please let us know, because we'd love to. Well, there may be a competition coming for that to name RoboFrog more permanently. Yeah, feel free to get creative with that one. Anyway, this is the other link that we've got as well, which shows the GPUs currently online. I'll bring that one up as well. There we go. And as the network evolves more, we'll get a bit fancier with some of these screens. There's some fun stuff planned. Anyway, that's what we've. That's the GPU as it stands now. The list of GPUs. So check those out. Again, the link to get to everything is either via our main website, lilypad.tech, or you can check out lilypad.tech/IncentiveNet and get all these links and a whole bunch more of FAQs and whatever else. We do have some RoboFrog. Oh, actually, I've just been, yes, that is a good point. Somebody just reminded me that RoboFrog does have some friends coming too. So if you do come up with some amazing names, maybe it'll be for the other one. I almost said it. And other ones.
Nice.
Um,
And some of these details on the screen are not fully up to date yet, but the online status is accurate.
Yeah, this is and that's a good point too. This is a brand new network, so we're tweaking and refining a few things.
Work in progress.
Just work in progress. Yes. Always looking for contributors. So please, if you want to get involved, don't even have to code. We're always looking for people to update our or help update docs. If you find something that's amiss or something that you think should be added, always looking for those contribs. Actually, on that note, we do like stars on our repos too. So please drop those stars on repos if you haven't already. If you have, thank you. If you haven't yet, just click that little star on the top when you go check out to see how you can contribute. Thanks in advance. We do have some other questions coming in. I'm just reading through them now. So we've talked about the leaderboard. Somebody was asking about where to get to the leaderboard things, which is great. Keep those questions coming in. Can you provide examples of real-world applications that are currently being built on the Lilypad platform? Yes, I can. Here's some we prepared earlier. I'm going to go here. And actually, just going back to what I said before, this is also a good place to go and drop those stars and contribute. There's a Jedi hint there. Yeah, see, I've already started. See, look at that. The way to find some of the public repositories or public modules is just to filter our repos at the moment by module. Oh, actually, it's module. There we go. That's better. And then there's a whole bunch of different modules. Oops, there's probably some private ones there that I probably should be showing. Public. Let's filter that. There we go. We have the SDXL, which is one of the ones one of the more popular modules we've had running for a little while now. Olama, so you can actually run your own LLM or Olama module on network as well, which I've done a few times for a few different projects. It was actually interesting recently at the the last ETH Global Hackathon, seeing how people build this into their application, either as a DevOps workload or DevOps pipeline, or they just integrate directly from the CLI or from our JS wrapper straight into straight to Lilypad, which was great. There's a few people that actually use the Alarma module to do that as well. And then we've got some of our more Hello World-ish style modules, like Lily's saying how say, which kind of show you how the nuances on like how to get up and running with it. We actually do have an SDV module as well. Now these are all using Comfy UI, so you can also pull down the code yourself and have a look to see how it's working and tweak it slightly. SDXL, for example, you can do image to image. You can open up the image to image functionality so that you can add your own image or a image as part of a runtime just by providing a publicly available URL for a picture or an asset you want to SDXLize. Is that a word? That is now. To be able to run SDXL over it and make it fancy, creative, add things to it, etc., etc. But you get to see that inside the Comfy UI builder as well, which is kind of fun. Rich, Taosheng, did you want to add anything more into that?
Well, it's just waiting here for people to contribute more modules.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to see the explosion of modules. I love those creative ideas that people drop in of like, here's a text to speech, audio AI generator. Like, seeing some of those modules come through is always great. One thing I do love most is that you can literally take these are just Dockerized, containerized workloads that you can, or apps that you can have a tweak slightly to make sure they've got a deterministic output. And by that, for example, you have an input value as part of the Lilypad runtime that adds a particular seed number. And that way, when the mediator node, when it checks the job to see the job ran, it can replicate the output that you've just gotten from that module runtime, and it knows it gets the same result, then the job works. Doesn't get the same result, the job failed. Being able to see that deterministic output is super important at the moment, but stay tuned for that. We may have some interesting things coming with that. One thing to keep in mind here is that currently this is publicly available because of the on-chain specs. So, but we do have some news coming, again, with some interesting partnerships we've been working on behind the scenes to make that. Someone has a birdie in the background. Yes, that is my budgie Brian. To sort of encrypt and hide that data a little bit so that you can still do the deterministic output, but with sort of hidden away information. So anyway, again, if you have any ideas about that as you're playing with the Lilypad network, please let us know. We would love to hear it. Cool. Well, we are almost out of time. So if there's any last questions, please drop them into the chat, or we will be back in 2 weeks' time for the next AMA. So drop in then. Failing that, you can join us on Discord as well and join the community. There we go. Chat. Join the community where there's always someone around wanting to hear about your ideas, or if you've got any issues, or if you've got any suggestions, feedback, etc. We're always loving to hear it. And there's a number of different projects on the go at the moment in there as well. So including some amazing, maybe we need to get Science Stanley on here one day. Might be a little bit late for him, but we'll see if we can get on there, because some of the projects Stanley's been working on as head of research is pretty cool. I know I love the planetary sciences at the best of times, but being able to hear about some of the modules that Stanley and his crew are running on the network, it's just amazing. Literally out of this world even. Planetary sciences. Oh, that was a facepalm moment. What's some of the cool things you've seen, Taosheng and Richard? What's some of the cool things you've seen people build out, or what's some of your favorite modules or ideas that you want to see modules being run?
Good question. I think some of the diffusion models I've seen have been really cool. And I haven't seen a transcription one yet. That would be useful to have.
Oh, that is a good one. Someone that uses fireflies from time to time. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
For me, I personally like what Stanley is doing, like rare disease. For open network, it is very good for some entity or some teams to build some research activities or data science related something on the rare disease. That is very, very good.
Yeah, I think the academic use cases are super interesting. So people who are in research teams, or maybe you're doing a PhD and you need to run stuff on a GPU that you don't have access to, then Lilypad is the perfect place. Super easy to build a module and then run that on Lilypad. That's a great way to get your academic jobs completed.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got to say, as someone that's done or Docker builds for more years than I can remember doing Docker builds for. Seeing those in particular, like seeing some of those really big modules run like within seconds on on the bigger GPUs is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite things. Is like I know I could run it on maybe run it on my Mega no GPU laptop or whatever. Then it will take, I don't know, a day, maybe a week, maybe a year, and melt in the process. But yeah, seeing them run super fast on the network is pretty fun.
Yes, I think I want to add words about that these things are also a part of IncentiveNet as the aims of the stage. We not only encourage the onboarding of resource providers, computing providers, but we also encourage the building, developing, test, and some other modules related, education related, lots of things.
Yeah, and even actually, I would encourage, if you're a first-time user of the network, I would encourage to use some of the pre-baked modules. Where's my list? There it is. Have a play around with some of these modules here just to see how they work, like how they operate and the type of results you get out, and then think about things you're either working on or you want to run or you want to work on, and see how you can get those to run on network too. Literally, I'm going to say a fair amount of anything on hub.docker. The Docker Hub is also fair game to be able to get running as a Lilypad job module. Even, I'm going to say, even the one that blows my mind the most, and I've only discovered this recently, but there is a Docker, on Docker Hub, there's a Docker container or Docker image to run Docker in Docker on Docker. It hurts my head every time I think about that. Especially because Lilypad runs on a containerized network, so you can run container in a container on a container. Anyway, there's a whole conference talk in there.
Inception.
It's just, yeah, it's like literally like playing with a fractal. Fractal math. Anyway, yeah, you can, the sky's the limit. Actually beyond if you're talking planetary sciences, which we were earlier. So, if you're on that note, if you do have any last questions, comments, or emojis, please drop them into chat. Join us on Discord, or add an issue. Interact with any of our GitHubs, where the team's always online, always watching. And yeah, we'd love to connect and yeah, geek out with the things you want to build, the things you want to see, and yeah, a whole lot more. All right, well, seeing as how we're coming to time here, Tao Sheng, Rich, did you have anything you wanted to add? Anything you wanted to chat about in the last few minutes?
Join the network now. The sooner the better.
Jedi, gotta do the Jedi thing.
This is the network you're looking for.
Oh, that needs to be a sticker. I hope the marketing people are watching. Actually, I know they're watching. Yeah, this is the network you're looking for. That is going to be a sticker. Stay tuned for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Join the network and build it together.
Excellent. Well, I think we're almost out of time here, so we're going to wrap things up and then run away to do some more contribs because we've got a lot to do. Thanks for joining us for this AMA. We will be back soon. There's a alternate hemisphere. Let's go with that. And there's this is the Southern Hemisphere based time zone. Well, the APAC version of the AMA office hours. We do have one next week in opposite hours, opposite time zone. You know what I mean? For more centered around the Northern Hemisphere. So if you want to join that one, Alex and Phil and the crew are always up for people on there to ask questions or whatnot. You can join the Discord, which I'll put the link up again quickly. There we go. You can join Discord, lilypad.team Discord. And if you want to find out more about our IncentiveNet, we've just launched. Lilypad.tech/IncentiveNet is the link you are looking for. Oh, so many Star Wars and sci-fi references today. Actually, that's kind of okay with that. Wait, do we ask the question about Star Wars versus Star Trek? No, that's too far. We'll go there. Like Rich said, please join the network. We would love to have you as part of it, and in particular to grab that feedback. I did notice there's a few more questions that just got posted, and we are pretty much out of time. So if you have got any other questions or any questions anyone wanted to ask, please join us on Discord, and we have people ready to jump in and answer them there and help debug and get you started and whatnot as well. So please check that out. Anyway, I think that's it. We're kind of at time here, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for joining. Oh, wait, this is my Steve Jobs moment. Just one more thing. So recently, I want to see if this works. So recently, one of the modules we've been playing around with was to produce some audio, namely to make Lilypad a theme song. Now, this is a work in progress. This is a little bit open source, so the modules in our, actually, I'm going to take that off. This is a work in progress. Please feel free to make it better. But here's the rock version of Lilypad's theme song.
Drop the bass, feel the surge, jump into the future, it's time to emerge. Lilypad Network, we're here to stay, taking you on a journey in a groundbreaking way. We're the frogs in the net, powering AI with the dubstep set. Lilypad Network, watch us rise with the beat that grooves, the tech that defies. Lilypad Network, let's dive in deep, connecting the world.
On that note, we'll see you in the next one.